How's it going, guys? This is Al. I'm back right here on YouTube talking to you about week 3. We're going to go over a recap of everything that happened in week 3. I'm going to look at my best buys column, go person by person and do a review of that and see where we got lucky, where we got unlucky, where our process was good, where our process might have been bad, and where we can do better looking forward. I'm going to go over my 5 picks against the spread from week 3, and then I'm going to take a look at my cash game lineup, look at the choices that I made, compare those to what we were talking about in Best Buys, what changed from the time I wrote it until the weekend, when I made those decisions, and what my cash game record was in head-to-heads this week. And so we're going to see my results and how I did. So if you would be so kind, if you like this content, please click like on this video, subscribe to the channel, click the notifications bell so you guys can find out every time I post new NFL videos throughout the season, which happens 2, 3, 4, 5 times a week. Appreciate y'all being here. So let's just get right to it. Here's my best buys column. Let me make this bigger for you. It's a little too small. Cooper Kupp was our cover boy this week. Starting with quarterbacks, Patrick Mahomes. He's good. He's quite good. He's going to continue to be good because they have way too many weapons. 24 of 38, 314 yards, 3 more touchdowns, 28.26 DraftKings points. I'm going to take a win on that one. Deshaun Watson, 29 fantasy points, 385 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. We were solid enough there. Moving down to Cam Newton. 29.6 fantasy points, 2 rushing touchdowns. He doesn't do that often. He will get you 1. Rare that he gets 2, if ever. 2 passing touchdowns as well on 150 yards passing, but those rushing touchdowns really buoy his floor, and that's what we were kind of talking about throughout the week. 29.6 fantasy points. I'm happy with him. Matt Ryan, the biggest quarterback score in the week, 43.16 fantasy points, 5 touchdowns. Absolutely went bonkers. 374 yards passing. Andrew Luck, I'm off the Andrew Luck train moving forward. If you watched this game, you realize that when they had a chance for a Hail Mary, they took out Andrew Luck to have the backup quarterback throw the Hail Mary. I'm off Andrew Luck. 31st in the league in yards per attempt. He just can't get the ball downfield right now. He's a dink and a dunk master. He's everything that we hated about Alex Smith, Andrew Luck has become. It's very weird, but I am off of him moving forward. 13.86 DraftKings points, just not enough because the upside isn't there because he can't get the ball downfield. Blake Bortles with Leonard Fournette out. This was a miss. I'll take the L here. 21 of 34, 155 yards, no touchdowns. It's very possible that Tennessee is just a way better defense than we're giving them credit for. I'm going to have to take a look at that throughout the week to see if we can maybe find spots to jump on the Titans defense. 8.9 fantasy points for Blake Bortles. Alvin Kamara, who I did not say to fade this week. I said to play anytime you can get him in there, especially if you could find the value to get there, and we could because the value definitely opened up. 16 carries, 66 yards, 15 catches on 20 targets, 124 yards receiving. Did not score a touchdown. Still put up 37 DraftKings points. I was convinced, as I said right here, that, you know what, he might not get 20 touches. Probably going to land between 15 and 20. He smashed that. He got 30 touches. 31 touches for Alvin Kamara, what we were always hoping that the Saints would do with him. You know, regression is never going to be a thing if you get that many touches. Jordan Howard, 24 carries, 2 catches on 2 targets, 61 yards and a touchdown on the ground, 20 yards receiving, ended the day with 16.1 DraftKings points. Corey Clement, the value was there. We talked about on the Anti-Tinkercast on Sunday morning on Twitch that Clement was going to be the guy that you want to play in cash, but for tournaments we preferred Smallwood, and I was overweight on Smallwood versus Clement based on the fact that I didn't think Clement was going to see more than 60% of the carries. And might not get the goal line work. That is how it worked out. Clement still ended the day with 10.5 DraftKings points and allowed you to afford the guys you needed to afford. 16 carries, 56 yards, 3 catches, 4 targets for 19 yards. Tevin Coleman got himself into the end zone through the air. 15 carries, only 33 yards. Not efficient against the Saints. 2 catches on 3 targets for 14 yards and a touchdown. 12.7 DraftKings points. Giovanni Bernard, my favorite running back in that price range by Sunday. Something else we talked about on the Anti-Tinkercast. If you're not showing up to the Anti-Tinkercast on Sunday morning on Twitch, what the hell are you doing? Right? I put out a lot of content on Monday. I got an article I write on Wednesday, this article right here. We have a podcast that comes out on Thursday, but if you want the most up-to-date information, tune in Sunday morning right before lock, and you'll get my last-minute thoughts on everything that I've done. You can even find out my allocations of the players that I have in the Millie Maker if you so choose. Giovanni Bernard ends the day 12 for 61, 1 touchdown, 5 catches, 9 targets, 25 yards, 19.6 DraftKings points, and 100% of the Cincinnati Bengals touches at running back. He was exactly what we were looking for in week 3. We might be looking for him in week 4 as well, depending on the matchup. That's foreshadow. That's what that was. You'll learn more later, possibly in another video. Kareem Hunt scored 2 touchdowns, but definitely wasn't the guy that we wanted. He's just not involved in the passing game with Patrick Mahomes at quarterback. 18 carries again, 44 yards, scored 2 short fall into the end zone touchdowns, so that kind of helped him out, almost reaching value. 0 catches on 1 target. 16.4 DraftKings points, absolutely saved by the touchdowns. That's why we focus on volume and not touchdown scoring. Chris Thompson was on our radar at the beginning of the week, but not on our radar by the end of the week. The Redskins got ahead in this game, and when they play from ahead, they're going to have a heavy dose of Adrian Peterson. When they're behind, you're going to get a heavy dose of Chris Thompson. I'll take the L here, only 2.7 points. There was a process to get off of him as the value opened up as the week went on. I hope that you did. Julio Jones. With everything that Matt Ryan did, I would have expected Julio Jones to do more. The offense did what we thought it would. Julio Jones, 5 catches, 6 yards, 5 catches, 6 targets, 96 yards, 14.6 DraftKings points. My issue is that people are saying that Julio Jones killed them in cash. He did not. He was 80% owned on DraftKings. So you got 15 points essentially out of a guy that everybody had. You had to beat people at other spots. Did he put up a 30-point day? No. Is this a miss? Not really. 15 points from a stud player is not a miss. 5 points from a stud player is a miss. 15 is fine. It's not thrilling, but it's fine. Would I have wanted 100 yards in a situation like this? Most definitely. Would I have wanted a touchdown or 2? 100%. Especially considering what Matt Ryan did. But this, to me, is good process. I understand that people are going on the never again train with Julio Jones, saying they're never going to play him again in cash. I will most certainly play Julio Jones again in cash when the opportunity presents itself. I think the process was good here. It just didn't work out in our favor. You can take that however you want. Some people are saying, no, he just doesn't score enough touchdowns, which is a valid excuse, which is a valid, rational, reasonable answer. But his volume's always going to be there, and he's not always going to fail to get into the end zone. So I will probably be playing Julio Jones again in cash when his price is this egregious versus the other top wide receivers on the slate, with other guys being at 9K and him coming in under 8K is when you kind of want to look at him. Now, if he's priced the same as them, yes, I'm going to go for the guys that get more looks in the red zone. Cooper Kupp, once again, finds himself into the end zone on 6 targets, 4 catches, 71 yards, and a touchdown, 16.8 DraftKings points. Tyler Boyd was my best value on the board, didn't end the day as the top value play on the board. That went to Calvin Ridley as he caught 3 touchdowns. But Tyler Boyd was the correct process play. 6 catches, 7 targets, 132 yards, and a touchdown, 28.7 DraftKings points, and I really hope you had him in cash games and tournaments. Brandon Cooks, 8 targets again. They're just utilizing this kid. 7 catches, 90 yards, no touchdown, 16 DraftKings points. He did fall on the 1 on that first Rams touchdown where Todd Gurley ended up punching it in. So if Cooks gets in there, it becomes kind of a smash day for him with about 22 DraftKings points, and you're looking at him a little bit differently for 7K. If otherwise, T.Y. Hilton tied to Andrew Luck, got 10 targets again, so I'm happy with the supply, but it's all dink and dunk stuff for a guy who's one of the most explosive downfield receivers in the league. 5 catches, 10 targets, 50 yards only, 10 fantasy points. Like I said, I'm off of Andrew Luck. I'm probably going to be playing Hilton or Ebron again, but I'm not going to play Luck. Geronimo Allison, we got lucky here. Okay, I think that we were looking at him as a value play. You could still fit him at the mid 4K. He caught a long touchdown, only had 2 catches, 4 targets, 76 yards, 1 touchdown on a game where they were trailing a ton. He didn't get 6, 7, or 8 targets like I was projecting, so we got lucky here that we got bailed out by a long touchdown. 15.6 DraftKings points. Zach Ertz was my play at the beginning of the week. This switched, as I said on the Anti-Taker Cast, to Travis Kelce, because of the rain situation. Even though it wasn't terrible, I'm going to go to a guy in a good weather situation and just as good or better an offensive situation in terms of points expected in a game. So Zach Ertz ends the day with 12.3 DraftKings points, 10 targets, 5 catches, 73 yards. He's going to be solid every single week. Someone we're going to lean on, but as I said, I switched to Travis Kelce due to the weather concerns. Austin Hooper, Didn't do much, but he didn't need to do much at 2,900. 3 catches, 4 targets, 23 yards, and a 2-point conversion for 7.3. Jack Doyle got injured. A lot of people pivoted to Eric Ebron, who got there on the last drive when he caught like 4 balls for a combined 12 yards or something like that. Just little quick outs. So he almost got there on value. He had like 8 points. Again, tied to Andrew Luck. Defenses, none of them did well this week. The Vikings defense, just horrible. 3 fantasy points, and you paid all the way up to 4,300 to get them. The Texans defense, I posted that Bart Simpson chalkboard tweet last night. I am off of this defense. They just can't get it done in great situations against offensive lines that can't keep anybody in front of them. They're just not amassing any sacks. 4 DraftKings points. And the Cowboys, if you saved all that money so you could pay for the studs on offense at 2,200, they had 2 fantasy points, so they didn't kill you. It would have been better if they had 10, of course. But realistically speaking, that allowed you to pay for everybody else. Looking at my picks from this week, another losing week on picks for me, but I'm not betting, so it doesn't matter to me. I'm just doing this experiment. 2 for 3 last week. On week 2, I was 2 for 3 again, or 2 and 3 again in week 3. Falcons over Saints. The Saints won that one. Take the L there. Chiefs over the 49ers. This played out exactly like I thought it would. Chiefs could put up more than 35, and I can't see the 49ers getting over 30. I'll take the Chiefs. Eagles and Colts. Eagles could not cover this spread. Packers at Redskins. That was terrible. And Rams by 7 over the Chargers. I guess I'm just going to stick with the Rams and the Chiefs pretty much every week until their spreads get completely out of line. That puts me at 8 and 7 on the year. Still ahead of the game. I'm going to try and turn that around in week 4. Looking at cash games here. Here's my cash game lineup. As you can see, the 4-man that we do for the Daily Fantasy Edge podcast, Adam Levitan wins it. I maintain my streak 3 in a row, baby, at 2nd place. It's hard to finish in 2nd place. Can you imagine? It's, I'm trying to finish in 1st. It's, that's equally as difficult, I suppose, but like you have a single solitary goal. I got to do 2 things. I got to beat 2 guys but lose to 1. Finishing in 2nd every week is much harder than finishing in 1st 1 or 2 weeks in out of a month. Much harder to finish 2nd every single week. So achievement unlocked for me. Cam Newton, right out of the article, Corey Clement, Alvin Kamara, Tyler Boyd, Julio Jones. Dante Moncrief was a Sunday morning swap for me because with Fournette out, Bortles throws the ball a ton. This did not work out for me, but it didn't really hurt me and didn't hurt my cashing because it allowed me to get up to Kamara and Jones and Bernard and Kelsey. Kelsey was the swap from Ertz that I spoke about in the article section. Giovanni Bernard, my favorite running back at that level, and Cowboys, just because they allowed me to get there. 164 points, which I played 149 head-to-heads on DraftKings. I filled 149 head-to-heads on DraftKings this week. I won 118 of them, good enough for 79.2%. Need to win 54% to be effective. I had a very profitable week this week. I'm happy with the way that things went. 1 decision away from it being a massive week, but I'm okay. With any win, I'm going to take a win, and I'm not going to complain about it. So thank you guys for being here. Appreciate you watching this entire video. If you're still here, make sure you click that like button, subscribe to the channel, click the notifications bell. Sub button's right there if you haven't used it already. Here's going to be my first look video for this week, for week 4. Make sure you watch this. This is a Monday first look at lineups on DraftKings, and I'll catch up to you guys later. Thanks for being here. Bye.